Charlie Murphy was born on July 12, 1959 in Brooklyn, New York. He's known for being a comedian, writer, actor, and author. He was the older brother of the legendary Eddie Murphy. Their father was murdered by his girlfriend when Charlie was 10 years old. He co-wrote the films Vampire in Brooklyn and Norbit. He didn't start doing stand-up comedy until he was 42 years old. During high school, he got into a lot of trouble with the law. He decided to turn his life around and served 6 years in the Navy. After he got out of the military, he became Eddie's bodyguard. He took it very seriously, even going after hecklers. He was extremely proud of the success Eddie had. Charlie was in many movies including CB4, Night at the Museum, and Harlem Nights, just to name a few. He found the most success on Chappelle's Show. The Rick James and Prince sketches were hilarious. After the show ended, he appeared in more movies, TV shows, and became a great comedian. He had his own sketch comedy show and a stand-up special. His wife died in 2009 from cervical cancer. They had 2 children together. He had 3 total. Charlie died in 2017 from leukemia. He was 57 years old. Don Rickles was born on May 8, 1926 in Queens, New York. He's known for being a comedy legend and an actor. Director Martin Scorsese said, "He made comedy into an art form, and like all geniuses, comic or otherwise, he's irreplaceable." He was the only comic who could make fun of Frank Sinatra. He won an Emmy in 2007. After high school, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy and served in World War II. He was discharged in 1946 and he became interested in acting. He studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City. He also started doing stand-up comedy. He became known as a quick-witted insult comic. He became a regular on talk shows and Dean Martin's celebrity roasts. He was in many TV shows including The Munsters, The Andy Griffith Show, F Troop, Gilligan's Island, Sanford & Son, and his own show called The Don Rickles Show, among many others. He did voice work in the Toy Story franchise and appeared in the movie Casino, just to name a couple. He was married once for 56 years and had 2 children. He died in 2017 from kidney failure. He was 90 years old. Andy Kaufman was born on January 17, 1949 in New York City. He was a comedian and an actor. He considered himself an entertainer and insisted he never told any jokes. His unorthodox and politically incorrect brand of humor confused a lot of people. He wasn't afraid to bomb. I think he was way ahead of his time. Did he have a screw loose, or was it all an act? What do you think? There was a movie made about his life starring Jim Carrey called Man on the Moon. Sometimes he'd get on stage and read the book The Great Gatsby and threaten to start over if anyone complained. Other times he'd play the record of the Mighty Mouse theme song and just stand there until the part, "Here I come to save the day," came on. He'd lip sync just that part. After a 1979 show at Carnegie Hall, he took all 2,800 audience members out for milk and cookies. He became famous from his role of Latka on the TV show called Taxi. He appeared on 16 episodes of Saturday Night Live until he was voted off of the show by the audience. Many people insist he faked his own death. He crowned himself the intergender wrestling champion when he started wrestling women. When professional wrestler Jerry Lawler slapped him on a talk show, it was planned. He scored a 0 on his Army psychological test on purpose and successfully avoided the Vietnam War. He had an annoying lounge singer character named Tony Clifton. Sometimes his manager would perform as Tony. He never married and had 1 daughter whom he put up for adoption. And he died in 1984 from lung cancer, although he didn't smoke cigarettes. He was 35 years old. Freddy Prince was born on June 22, 1954 in New York City. His birth name was Frederick Karl Prutzel. He was a comedian and an actor. He also sang occasionally. His mother was Puerto Rican and his dad was from Germany. Whether he was really Hungarian or German, I've seen conflicting reports. He changed his last name to Prinz to proclaim himself the Prince of Comedy. Vulture magazine once wrote that his career had blown up like no other comedian in history. It's shocking how young he was when he died. He seemed to have it all from the outside looking in. It just goes to show that one never really knows how tortured people can be or how well they can hide it. He dropped out of high school early and started doing stand-up comedy. At age 19, he was the first comedian invited to sit down and talk to Johnny Carson after his set was over. He was on the successful TV show called Chico and the Man starting in 1974. Life was going good. He signed a 5-year, $6 million deal with NBC. He had famous friends. He was on magazine covers. And he was on TV a lot. He had a son named Freddy Prince Jr. in 1976 who went on to have an acting career. He was overprescribed Quaaludes and became addicted to them and other drugs. He was arrested for a DUI in 1976. His wife filed for divorce soon after that. He suffered from depression. He died in 1977 from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He passed away 33 hours later. He was 22 years old. Gilbert Gottfried was born on February 28, 1955 in Brooklyn, New York. He's known for being a comedian and an actor. His comedy was very polarizing. Many people know him as the voice of Iago in the 1992 Disney film Aladdin. Joe Pesci and Danny DeVito were also considered for the role. He was the voice of the duck in the Aflac commercials, but he was fired after tweeting insensitive jokes following a tragedy in Japan. He acted in Problem Child 1, 2, and 3, Beverly Hills Cop 2, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, Dr. Dolittle, and A Million Ways to Die in the West, just to name a few. He appeared in way too many TV shows to name. He started doing stand-up at age 15. In 1980, he joined the cast of Saturday Night Live. He only lasted 12 episodes, with a low point being when he played a corpse in a sketch. He was a frequent guest on The Howard Stern Show, but Gilbert burned that bridge after spitting on cupcakes meant for the staff. He was always willing to crash and burn for his comedy. He was married once and had 2 children. He died in 2022 from ventricular tachycardia complicated by type 2 myotonic dystrophy. He was 67 years old. Red Fox was born on December 9th, 1922 in St. Louis, Missouri. His birth name was John Elroy Sanford. He was a legendary and influential comedian and an actor. He is perhaps most well known for his role as Fred G. Sanford on the TV show called Sanford and Son. It ran on NBC from 1972 to 1977. One of the running gags was when he would put his hand on his chest and fake a heart attack. I did that just the other day when I was talking to my daughter without even realizing where I got it from. I thought that show was great. Did you ever watch it? His stand-up comedy was very dirty, and he had over 50 party underground comedy albums. He was able to work with 2 comedians he inspired, Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor, in the 1989 movie called Harlem Nights. He was friends with Malcolm X when he was younger. Malcolm called him Chicago Red due to his reddish-colored hair. He combined Red and Fox after Jimmy Fox, who was a Chicago Cubs player, for his stage name. He was also friends with Elvis Presley. Here's a fun fact. Red was the only celebrity invited to Elvis's wedding to Priscilla. He was able to avoid being drafted into the military during World War II by eating half a bar of soap. It gave him indigestion and heart palpitations. This made him ineligible for combat. He had his own TV show called the Red Fox Comedy Hour in 1977. His good friend Muhammad Ali appeared on the show a couple of times. He was married 4 times and had 1 adopted child. He died in October of 1991 from a heart attack. He was on the set of his TV show called The Royal Family. He fell to the floor and people around him thought he was faking a heart attack, but it was real. He had some money issues towards the end of his life, so Eddie Murphy paid for his funeral. Red was 68 years old.